Saint Anything, 2015, penned by Sarah Dessen, is a young adult contemporary romance novel that follows a young girl's journey to find her own identity in a world dominated by her incarcerated brother. Esteemed as one of Dessen's highly acclaimed young adult novels, it secured a nomination for the 2015 Goodreads Choice Award. Dessen, a New York Times best-selling author, is renowned for her extensive collection of contemporary young adult literature. Throughout her works, she frequently delves into themes of family dynamics, self-exploration, and dealing with adversity and loss. Prior to her writing career, Dessen worked as a waitress. The story revolves around teenager Sydney Stanford, a resident of North Carolina, who shares a household with her parents and her elder brother, Peyton. Peyton seemingly excels in every aspect, popular, amiable, and remarkably talented. In contrast, Sydney constantly feels overshadowed by him, her true self fading into the background. However, when Peyton's behavior takes a drastic turn due to alcohol consumption, the Stanford family dynamic undergoes a seismic shift. One night, Peyton's reckless actions lead to a drunk driving incident that critically injures another teenager. As a consequence, he faces imprisonment for his dangerous conduct. While everyone around her is consumed with concern for Peyton's future, Sydney is frustrated by the collective sympathy he receives. She's resolute in remembering that he nearly took a life. When the verdict is announced, sentencing him to a correctional facility, Sydney believes his punishment is insufficient. As time passes and her parents remain fixated on Peyton, Sydney realizes the need to distance herself from the situation. She makes the decision to switch schools in pursuit of fresh connections and novel distractions. Above all, she yearns to escape the suffocating shadow cast by Peyton. At her new school, she crosses paths with the Chatham family, proprietors of a local pizza eatery. United by their warm and functional dynamic, the Chathams extend a welcoming hand to Sydney, providing her with a sense of belonging. Unaware of Peyton's actions or his crime, the Chatham family offers Sydney a respite from her turbulent emotions, allowing her to momentarily set aside his transgressions. As Sydney grapples with the possibility of ever forgiving her brother, she finds herself frustrated by her lack of confidence to share her true sentiments with. Seeking solace, she frequents the pizza establishment, where Layla Chatham, a co-worker and schoolmate, becomes a close companion. Layla, who carries the weight of a troubled older sister, relates to Sydney's predicament, providing a safe space for conversations about Peyton and the simmering frustration she harbors toward her family. In Layla, Sydney discovers someone who comprehends why she hasn't yet visited Peyton. Opening up, Sydney reveals Peyton's history of misbehavior, prior stints in rehab and incarceration for breaking and entering. Layla's own concern for her sister's substance abuse issues enables her to empathize with Sydney's struggle. Sharing her thoughts about Peyton's substance abuse and alcohol problems becomes a liberating experience, free from judgment. Sydney's bewilderment deepens as her mother remains steadfast in her admiration of Peyton, rather than confronting him with the truth. The situation worsens when Mrs. Stanford decides the family should visit Peyton in the correctional facility. Sydney is unwavering in her decision not to go, and she discovers that Peyton feels the same way. His shame and self-awareness of her critical gaze make facing her unbearable. Nonetheless, their mother insists on the visit. However, their plans are thwarted by a call from Peyton's lawyer, informing them of his trouble at the facility, leading to a loss of visiting privileges. Though Sydney's mother presses for more information, Sydney secretly finds relief in avoiding a confrontation. Amid these developments, Sydney forms new connections and establishes strong bonds. She grows especially close to Layla's brother, Mac, whose presence becomes a constant at school and the pizza place. Having shed his previous weight struggles, Mac's transformation impresses Sydney. His determination to overcome his challenges resonates with her, and she finds herself increasingly drawn to him, both as a friend and as someone she finds attractive. She hopes that her feelings for Mac won't create any tension with Layla, her close friend. One evening, Layla proposes to her father the idea of Sydney and her assisting with pizza deliveries to contribute more to the business. Mr. Chatham agrees, with the condition that they exercise caution. As they begin their pizza delivery efforts, Sydney encounters a customer named Mason, who captivates her attention. Mason hails from a wealthy background and resides on the privileged side of town, leading to a romantic relationship between them. Unfortunately, Mason's influence isn't positive, as he pressures Sydney into situations she isn't comfortable with. This dynamic strains Sydney's friendship with Layla, who gradually distances herself and seeks new companions. Recognizing the harmful trajectory that her relationship with Mason is taking and the similarities between his behavior and her brother Peyton's actions, Sydney decides to end the relationship. Instead, she spends time with Mac during delivery shifts, and their bond deepens. Over time, their shared experiences bring them closer together, prompting Sydney to realize that Mac is the one who truly resonates with her. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.